I always tell people that because I have a friend who's in sales and marketing and was a senior right now.
Larry DeVille here at my barbershop in Somerville, 968 The Shop, with my long buddy, DJ Stix. And I really wanted to just give you guys a little bit of a background on me and this man. He plays and has always played a pivotal role in the city that we grew up in the group that I was in, and really in the scene in Boston for DJs and musicians alike. So we didn't really meet until we were a little older.
Absolutely, that's very true.
After even high school, really.
Yeah, it was definitely after high school because when Derek told me about you, I was like, "Who the hell are you?"
Right.
Who else you doing music with that I don't know already?
Right.
So like he discovered you before I did. He always talk about you, so it was dope. Cause
really, that's funny.
Once we did link up, though, it was like boom right away.
I mean, like I know Third so differently than people knew Third. So like to hear the Third like talk to you about me is like.
But the way I know Third's different too.
Of course, yeah, of course.
Because I was Third's first friend when he moved to Somerville who actually accepted him.
I agree.
He was all bandaged up and shit, and I was the only one hanging out with him.
Right.
This is before a rapper. Before you talking about
little kid.
Not even little super bright
yeah.
nerd.
Yep.
Like he built my first computer. He did everything.
Yeah.
Like he made me DJ. Like I didn't ask him. He was like, I'm a rapper, so you got to DJ. I'm like, all right.
So, boom. So, the first thing I remember about you when we were younger is like I always had like I've always wanted to make music. I've always wanted to get involved in music, and I just never really nobody that I hung around with made music or like was into it like that. Like I DJ'd, funny enough, like when I was a little kid. Like I remember we had two turntables, like two Gemini turntables. I used to watch DJ Scribble on MTV. I don't know if you remember.
Of course, I love that dude. He gave me a shout out on Instagram. I was so
no way.
Crazy. You see one of my videos and was like, "Yo, you killed it." I was like, oh.
So like me and my boy used to like screw around. We had like crazy records and shit. But when I got to high school, I always told you, and I tell people all the time, like I vividly remember you, like Will, Third, Kenny, Lex, Berna, like everybody used to be out in the back of the atrium on the front steps, and you would be beatboxing, Julio would be beatboxing, and everyone would be freestyling, and I'm like, yo, like I want to fucking do this, but like if I did that shit, my friends would be like, what the fuck are you doing? Yeah. No, none of my friends did that, but I vividly remember that shit, dude. And me and you were in like a cartooning class.
Yeah, we were. No, it wasn't cartooning. It was
Mr. Rich.
Was it cartooning?
Yeah.
You sure?
Uh-huh.
It wasn't calligraphy?
Maybe it was calligraphy. It was calligraphy, dude. You're right.
Cyan.
Oh my god. Yeah,
so
like
calligraphy.
So believe it or not, dude, like I always remember that stuff. And then when I started making music in Everett, when we worked with Pelage in the same spot.
Oh my god. Shout out Super P, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Super P. But that was like my first real like experience of like not knowing who you were, but like being cool. Like, you know what I mean? We used to kick it. We had the spot on Walnut Street.
My first studio. Yeah, you went to my very first studio. So
yeah, we built it together. You had my mic and shit.
I know it.
Right. So like you've always been around.
God damn, it's 2021.
You've always been around, and you've always played like such a pivotal role. Like any record I've ever had, you've helped me break the record, or helped me play the record, or at least give me the confidence to push a record or be behind it. You know what I mean? Absolutely. And like I'm always like super thankful for that, and like where we were, like whether it was Middle East, like with DC Fam, and like always the DJ or Lex and you, always like, you know what I mean? Like it was just a really tight crew of people, and I think it's really cool that like till present day, like when I have records, like you're still one of the first people I think
absolutely.
of.
But it's easy. It's harder when you have close friends and the records ain't good.
Right.
So it's easy when the records are good. So like I don't really have to question you. Like I'm not really worried about what's gonna come out even before I hear it, because I know that you put the time in.
Right.
There's a lot of people who push records and they make records with an agenda.
Yep.
You don't make records with an agenda. You do it what you feel.
Right.
And that's what matters. So like when I hear music from you, I already know where it's coming from. So I'm kind of surprised when it's not good. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, what happened here? Like, but for the most part, like consistency is key, and when someone's consistent, you want to push it. You know?
Yeah.
And that's kind of our case. I mean.
How long you been DJing? Like, you know, I just gave like some of the issue, but how long have you really been DJing?
I started when I was 13.
Wow.
It was freshman year in high school.
Wow. With the braids?
Yeah, no, I didn't have braids
before the braids.
Yeah, I got braids after high school. But what was I saying? Yeah, I got my first summer job after 8th grade with my baseball coach, and I took that money and I bought a DJ set.
You remember what you bought?
Yeah, it was a Newmark set that was all in one. Like the speakers was part of the case. I had to flip it open. I would take a stereo receiver to the gig so I could connect the speakers because I couldn't get real speakers yet. Yeah, and I remember when that broke, I ended up having a Gemini mixer with 2 5 CD changes, so I would use those. Mm-hmm. But yeah, like I went through so much equipment, it's crazy. But yeah, I started when I was 13. Pretty active in the club since I was 16. I've been doing it ever since.
I don't think I've gone out so many nights like in Boston, like with friends or like whatever. And I'd say more than a quarter of the time, almost half the time I go out, like I'm like, oh, you're fucking DJ.
I've seen you in the weirdest places.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing here?
Yeah, always. It's just such a thing that you're always around, you're always DJing places, and that's like, to me, like as an artist, it's cool to see that because like if you're doing that, I have to be able to do it. I should be doing that too.
No, but that's like my juggler. You come here and like, if you wasn't cutting, what would you be doing for a living?
Music.
But either one of those, if you wasn't doing any one of those,
I don't know.
You'd be kind of like when I think about it, it freaks me out. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I really don't know.
I don't know at this point. You're right.
Like if there's anything else to do in my life, I could probably do a million other things, but I wouldn't know what to do.
Right. I wouldn't know what to do first thing if somebody said you can't do either of these two things. What would you want to do? I don't know.
I wouldn't be happy. I'll tell you that.
How do you? I mean, that being said, like we've both been involved in the music scene in this city, in Boston, which is actually really starting to bubble and starting to grow. How do you feel about like the trajectory that the Boston music scene, and I don't like, an artist in the area always says now, Millie's always says, he's talking about Massachusetts and not about Boston as a whole, because there's so many different areas.
Absolutely.
It's not just Boston. Like there's people that are from outside of Boston that aren't from Boston. You know what I mean? And we're talking about Massachusetts.
It's just the easiest way people know where
of course,
we're from.
Of course.
I mean,
but when people talk about New York, they talk about New York. You know what I mean? So we're talking about the state now is actually getting a lot of recognition.
Absolutely.
So how do you feel about like the current state of music in the state and like where we're going, and like you got people like Bia, you got people like, you know, like some of the biggest producers in the world are from this state.
Yeah, I feel like the bigger artists did what they were supposed to as far as hit the road and market and brand themselves properly. Mm-hmm. But I feel like as the artists in this city are doing a really good job of taking advantage of social media and networking the right way. Because we never had the resources out here, so I feel like a lot of people are just they're done with that excuse. Mm-hmm. Now it's time. What do we do? What else can we do? And I feel like people are making the right connections. A lot of artists are traveling now. They're making the right connections. They're networking the way they're supposed to be. They're branding the way they're supposed to be. So I like it a lot more now because I feel like the artists are taking more into their hands and not blaming their surroundings as much.
Right. I feel like the biggest thing that was missing from Boston, and it still kind of is, but it's starting to make its way in, whether it's with tech or whatever, is like the industry. Like there was never there's no music industry
Absolutely.
in Boston.
Absolutely.
There's no labels here. There's no, you know what I mean? But little by little, with the recognition and with the people that are really getting put on, and realizing like what we have to do. It's not just like releasing stuff. It's like doing things the correct way. That like we're actually starting to like get some traction, and people are starting to realize that. You know what I mean? Like, oh, this is like a hotbed.
Yeah, I feel like it's still brewing, and it's gonna pop eventually.
Do you think there's a sound?
No, that bothers me too, though.
Yeah. See, that's the one thing that I always notice is like Chicago has a sound, or like maybe it's dope that we don't have a particular sound, and there's so many.
Because we are one of the most diverse states in the country.
Oh.
So with that being said, you might see a little, but at the same time, we do have our own flair out here. You don't go anywhere else, and it's like Boston. We are different from everybody else, so we can make our own sound. But then again, it's just about experimenting too. I mean, it's like I said, when you make music, it doesn't come from an agenda standpoint.
Yeah.
So like when you make music that way, that's what makes it organic and a true sound.
So I'm white, which I mean like, in case you wonder, I'm a white man, but like we just made like a almost like an Afrobeat record today.
Yeah, but when you're a musician, like
right.
it doesn't really like.
But what I really like wanted to say about that stuff is like, it's funny because if I told you like, yo, Stix, like I want to make a reggae record, you'd be like, okay, because you and like whether it's like JJP or whoever or Hectic or anybody that we've been around since we were young, like that's all we listen to. Like we listen to dancehall all the time.
Yeah, we come from an area where like if we were partying, we would listen to dancehall.
That's all I want to listen to.
Because we're from an area where we like to dance with females. Like I want to dance with a lady when I'm dancing.
I'm with you.
And back in the day, there's only a few genres you can do that with. You play some reggae, play some zouk, play some bachata, play some. We're super cultural out here, so when we party, there's a million cultures.
I'm a fantastic dancer as well.
But like, there's a million. We throw a party, you're gonna see a million cultures there,
of course.
especially from Somerville.
Of course.
Because we're so diverse out here, so we're used to everything. Like I said, we partied hard. Like everybody would come to Somerville to party.
Yeah, I agree.
Like everybody came to our house parties. We didn't go to Cambridge, we didn't go to Mall, we didn't go to everything. Everybody came to our house parties. Yeah. Then again, we had all the DJs. So
there's a lot of DJs that like, not like in that 6 years of just going to the high school or whatever. Like, there's a lot of DJs that came out of this.
Yeah, shout out Super Plus, man, because they definitely they started me off. So I know. I mean, I spewed into a bunch of other little kids, but like they started me, so I know they started a few others as well. So shout out Super Dukes, Black, all them guys. I mean, like I said, they were the first ones I even seen DJ in Somerville. Mm-hmm. And then they used to take me to the BBC. Then from there it was a rap. They used to take me to the hottest
different rooms.
The hottest under 21 in New England. They used to take me there every other Sunday and let me rock with them, and it was a rap from there. I fell in love.
Oh, you were actually DJing it?
Yeah, they would let me rock.
Wow. That's crazy.
It was so dope.
So yeah, there's a lot of history there. You know, like to me, like some of the most important, and I don't want to like stay on the subject, but like some of the most important times were with like DC Fam and like Third and all that stuff. Like I know that you were part of like the Dark Clouds record and all that stuff.
What I liked about them is like when you guys were together, everybody had their role. Even I feel like you guys had more turmoil in the studio. And everything else outside of it was rocking. Like someone was always trying to get gigs. Someone was always trying to talk to studios and all that. Yeah. I feel like the issues were always when y'all were together more than when y'all were all doing the other parts for the group. Yeah. Which is weird, but like it's just
we were like a family though, dude. Like we fought like brothers, but we were like best friends in the same respect.
But you and everybody's a creator in their own right mind.
Right.
So that's the hardest part to get them all together at once.
Man, and we said it like when Third did pass, like it was said that like Third would always have like an idea. We would have an idea, or someone would have an idea, and at the end of it, like if it was done, like if we saw it through, it had become his idea no matter what we did.
That's in everything though. That was in everything with Third, not just music, everything. You would actually finish a record and he'd be like, nah. Like, no, we just finished it. Like, I know, but now that I hit all the way through, it's not it. I'm what? But he was like that, but that's, I mean, that sharpens your tools because it's like we got to go back in and do it better. Whatever the mindset is, we got to go back. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it wasn't cool, but it was cool at the same time when you think back at it. I mean.
So, what are you doing now post-COVID? Like, how did COVID affect, like, you and your livelihood with DJing?
Yeah, it sucked because it went from DJing 5 nights a week to DJing.
Were you doing any, like, online stuff?
So, I started streaming. I started doing the Twitch and all that. Did it really, like, work for me? Not really. Mm-hmm. Do I enjoy it? Yeah. So like it's something I'm still gonna keep doing after COVID. Mm-hmm. I have the whole setup now.
But that's cool now, though. You know.
Yeah, I like it.
That's another thing you could do.
But then again, like I said, I have all the equipment now, so I'm not just gonna throw it in the closet because COVID's over. Yeah. But I'm back to DJing a bunch of nights a week. I'm back to doing showcases. I got showcases coming up. I'm back to being on tour. I'll be on tour soon. I mean, just little tours, though, not crazy, but like it is what it is at the moment. I mean, and I like where it's going because at this time, like it's I don't have to chase anybody. Everything I do is on my terms right now. Mm-hmm. So that's been the best thing about it. A lot of people say that now, dude. Like a lot of the control is like in your hands, and not so much like you waiting on other people. It's just the way I already had a mindset of how I was gonna go about everything once I started. I wasn't gonna take everything. I wasn't gonna bite at every opportunity, and every opportunity I had, I was gonna try to make the most I can. So like in Manchester, it went from me doing my night to give me a little more money. Now I can book other DJs. Now I'm your music coordinator. I'm like that at 2 other spots. So like it's bigger than just DJ now. I'm trying to open my options so now I can trade gigs with DJs and I can travel more and do things of that nature. So my business is a lot more sharper than it's ever been as far as DJing compared to what it was. I never out of like necessity, training. Like you had to learn how to do all that kind of stuff. I didn't have to, but now I know how to maximize everything I get now. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yep. It's about maximizing everything now. So yeah, so like I'm excited where I'm at. I do everything myself. So like I don't owe anybody nothing. I do my own graphics. I book my own DJs. I pay my own DJ. I do everything I want. That's awesome. So it's better. I don't go through promoters. I go through through owners and managers. Nothing against promoters, but just lately these opportunities
I
that I have
think we realize that as like
just the opportunities I've had now are through like the establishments.
Yeah.
So it's dope that way because I'm getting that respect too. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like they know I can bring some bar numbers, which is not really something I'm used to talking about and things of that nature.
Yeah, but you've been
now
doing
it's
it
like
a long time.
exactly. Now it's like I know what I bring to the table now.
That's good. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah. So I can't complain. I'm super happy where it's at right now.
So where can people find you and like book you or whatever?
The best way is check out my site, iamdjstix.com, or follow me everywhere at iamdjstix. I'm constantly posting things, so you can always find me there.
Dope. Well, yeah, that's like a little look into like who this man is. One of my like oldest friends. I'm glad to still be able to like
do this.
work alongside you or like just pop up here, and it's cool now, dude, because I didn't think 10 years ago that I would like have taken music this serious now to a point where it's like every little thing that I might take for granted, like the fact that like you and I rocked together for a long time, like.
And you're getting better.
People don't. Yeah, well, thank you, but not
people
not everybody knows this.
People don't understand that process either. Like
yeah,
you know my artist.
Yeah.
My artist, Party Boy Woods, right? He was in a group called Flowers. He was the worst spitter, easily the worst spitter.
Really.
But as time goes on, like he's just always worked. He got books and books, he's writing every day.
Mm-hmm.
So you if you heard the tape from when I first started with him to now, you wouldn't even know the person. You would not recognize him.
More confident.
But more confident, delivery's better, understands flows, knows how to write more. So like I can see that same with you with the progression. Like you get better.
Right.
Like a lot of people don't get better because a lot of people don't practice. Like it's not just being in the studio. Like Woods writes every day as therapy pretty much.
Right.
You know how it is.
No,
you got a bunch of kids, so when they all knocked out, first thing he does, lights one up, gets to writing.
Mm-hmm.
So like it's just it sharpens your tools, and I just don't know a lot of artists like that. Even like with you and him, like I can have 20 songs on you guys.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of artists who don't even have catalog. Like they don't even record enough, so they don't even practice the art.
I think we've shot almost 20 videos.
Artists don't even practice the art of actually recording and being in front of them, like doing things of that nature.
Yeah.
So it's like you can always see the difference in quality between like some of the artists I deal with and then like just random artists you see on the street. Because I only deal with artists who take it that serious. So so like you can I don't mess with someone's quality if it's not there, and you guys take that part serious, and that's what matters the most too.
Well, it is cool to see the progress that is taking place.
It's crazy, especially
from just
you.
like me with like fresh out the box or like the 4 records I did before then till now.
No, because I forgot what track did I remix?
It was the Lights Please one.
I was listening to it the other day. I still got it on my phone. I was like,
Mike, please.
I was like, his writing is so much better now.
that was really like the first attempt of me. Like I learned how to sing from like listening to like Boyz II Men and like Jodeci or whoever when I was little, and like I like imitating people.
Yeah.
So like
I know that.
I learned how to sing. I learned how to sing from that. So like that was my first attempt at actually trying to write and record and sing my own melodies or whatever. So it was very, very like.
But all right, so give me an example. How was that process that first time in the studio? Wasn't it weird?
Oh my God, yeah.
Terrifying.
You remember it?
Yeah, terrifying.
Yeah.
So, but like I'm saying, but how are you now?
It's like
you
like
go in there, you ready
nature.
to body it.
Yeah, it's like second nature.
Yeah, see, so like I'm just saying, like
there's a process.
That comes with time. We're talking about 10 years deep, and I'm talking about you and my at the same time. It's like at 10 years, you guys have gotten nasty.
That's why I envy like.
It's not a walk in the park.
Well, no, but I envy the generation that's coming up now because these type of things are like so accessible, and it's not as taboo to do that at a young age. So like,
but you know,
10,000 hours comes quick when you stop making music at 16
But the difference is now, and I can see it as a DJ. There's a lack of making music without an agenda. Everything has an agenda on it. Everything, you can tell everything sounds like something.
Yeah.
Or
Who just said that? T-Pain just said that.
Or everything is towards a certain current event that's going on right now, so it sounds like it's part of the time.
Yeah.
And what happens to those records? 6 months later, they're gone.
Well, that's why I make music the way I make music. It's like timeless almost.
Like I'm a DJ, so like, I'm sorry, like the hottest record last year, I couldn't even tell you what it was. I'm probably not playing it no more.
Right, but you have favorite records.
But then again, I got a classic record of folders, a folder of classic records I have to play.
Yeah. That
I have to play.
Yeah, of course.
And people will bug me if I don't play them.
That's what I'm aiming to do.
But what I'm saying is like in today's day, the music's just it's wishy-washy. But then again, it's only like that too because everybody has so much access to it as well.
Do you have a favorite artist now that's like coming up or like within the past few years?
I wouldn't say coming up, but I definitely dug into Tory Lanez a lot more.
Yeah. I feel like Tory Lanez has like paved a sound, like he has a deliberate like approach to making songs and stuff like that now, but it's dope.
But I really did listen to him like that. But when he got to a situation, I wanted to hear the album of him talking about it.
Yeah.
And I feel like in every aspect he went really hard. If it was a rap song, a ballad, a slow song, a slower hip hop, like he killed everything. I was like, damn.
Yeah.
Like it's got to be hard for an artist to express himself that many different ways.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It sounds totally different on everything.
From a writing perspective.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so it's got to be
yeah.
crazy. So him, and then rap wise, I like Moneybagg, and I like him just because his wordplay is different. It's creative for this era.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that about him. His songs are but like I said, I don't really have a high expectation for the artist as far as bars and things like that. But he makes cool songs, and I like his wordplay. He's not how you say elementary with his bars. His bars, like you might have to think about it one time. Even though, I mean, it's still kind of bubblegumish.
I guess lastly, like anybody from the city that like you're really like happy to see or whatever now, like there's a lot going on.
I would say,
or to watch out for, or anything like that.
I would say that I see it, and I'm going like across the board with it, like everything they're doing, not just the music, but the grind. I like what Trevor's doing, Trevor Holmes.
Oh yeah.
Because he's heavy on like.
Trevor's Instagram page is like you can't go on IG without seeing something.
So like he
dope.
takes. So that's the wave now. That's the next step that you got to take.
I feel like
serious.
all those dudes.
And I can't do it. I'm not from that era, so like it's weird for me to be like all over online.
Yeah.
But if you were to ask me who I think would blow based on how hard they're moving without any help, I would say it's Trevor. Trevor Holmes is his thing.
Yeah. All those dudes are dope, dude. Like the Michael Christmases.
The
Latrells.
Well, a lot of those guys got help. Like, I know Trev personally. It's by himself. So when he's going to Miami to these shifts of network, it's by himself. When he goes to LA, it's by himself.
It's definitely dope.
So like he produces, he records his own shit. Like he's a one man squad, and that's we don't see that with teams out here. He's doing it by himself. So I was like, So him, I like what you're doing, with your remixing, which I feel like you got to get back in that bag because everybody loves your shit.
Honestly, yeah.
And I got a new one for you, so
let me know because we'll do that next.
It's crazy. The next one's crazy.
Cool.
So I like what Woods is doing. I'm happy that Bia is getting her recognition without Pharrell.
Me too.
Like she don't get the muscle no more.
That Nicki feature it's huge for the city in general. Never mind for her.
But my thing with her is she's been consistent with records.
Oh,
That's probably the biggest record that's blown, but she's been putting out records consistently.
I feel like it's a matter of time before you hear Bia and what's her name?
Meg?
No, well that'd be dope. But no, Bia and Cardi B.
Oh, Cardi?
I feel like that is like the match made in heaven.
How do you feel about the importance of social media? Right, and I say this like this. Oh, let me ask you. So you know where I'm going with it. Coi Leray.
Yeah, dope.
She's dope, right?
Yeah.
And but she's really heavy on social media.
Of course, she takes advantage of it.
But then it comes to the shows, and it's not that same love is not being reciprocated as far as numbers.
I don't know.
No, I'm telling you that's what's been going on. And it's not just her. It's a lot of artists, like even Little Dirk, Little Baby, they get their streams up. They're crazy online, but they're having issues selling tickets for their tour. So it's like.
What I've noticed, and it's actually like when you like I take the time now to not only I don't assume that I know shit because I realized that like for a long time I don't fucking know the majority of the shit that I need to be doing. You need to ask the people who have done it. And Bedlam from Show Off Marketing, shout out Bedlam, shout out Gary.
Show Off.
Bedlam made me do something so rudimentary, dude. Like. I need a website. And I'm like, well, yeah, I need a website. But when he broke it down as to why I need a website, it was mainly because of what you're saying. And it's like, I need a place.
To send your fans.
Well, yeah, but like, what if Instagram shuts down? Or what if this social media platform shuts down? How am I going to obtain the information I need to obtain and reach the people and find who's like, and it's like, you need it. And I'm not like trying to preach it, but like Nipsey Hussle had the right idea with a lot of the shit that he's like schooled people on. And it's like, if you don't own what you're doing, what's the point of it? If you can't obtain the information that you need to know, then how could you sell it? And I think that's the biggest thing. So
did you notice when I plug my shit, what I plug first?
Yeah.
My site.
Yeah.
I need the traffic going to my site.
Yeah. So it's just cool. It's cool to see Boston in general like really starting to like bubble and start to make the right moves. And it's the people who are, the people who took those big steps for all the other artists to follow in their footsteps. Without that being done, dude, I don't think like people like myself and whatever could see like, all right, we have to take this more seriously, and there's a way to do it.
I'm not even just like you said, they didn't know, but not when they see it firsthand now. Like you say, everybody says Millie left, but you see what happens when he left. It's not even about him leaving. You see the people he's around. You see like the access he has to certain
and
things.
He's doing incredible, dude.
To do videos. You see him in the dopest studios, but that's going out networking, meeting the right people, being in the right spaces that you need to be in. So that plays a major part. But like I said,
I got a Millie's record.
You do.
I do.
But like I said, I feel like the city is doing better, and I feel like the resources ain't as important because the web. I feel like you can do a lot on the web as long as. So I feel like it's in a good space. So the only thing I heard us a lot is we lost a lot of venues during the pandemic.
Yeah, but there's gonna be more that are gonna be opening up too.
Performance venues, we lost a few, but like you went online, I've seen a lot of new ones pop up out of nowhere, which is dope too. But I mean,
a lot of cool things happen.
We got to get those back going and be able to have venues and events where we
get you in them.
Oh yeah, I'm not worried. Those are already in the works. Like I got big moves in the works for as far as for my showcases, because a lot of people who are at the Wonder Bar now are at other venues, at bigger venues that can do things for me, and they're ready to just give me the venues and charge everybody else for them. Like, so I'm super excited at things I can do.
Me too. Finally.
But like I said, my new move now is making that all the moves gotta be strategic, and they all gotta be like, it's gotta make sense. It's gotta be on point. It's gotta make sense, and I gotta make it work for a long period of time. I don't want to just do one event. I want to make sure I can get whatever spot I do. I need a spot for the year. I can't just do 1 month here, 1 month there. I need a consistent venue. So that's my biggest part right now, because I can get dates here, dates there, but I want a venue that I can consider mine a little bit. As far as for my artists, I mean, for party wise, like I got those. I need one for my showcases.
Well, in the words of our late friend, it's only a matter of time.
Only a matter of time.
So DJ Stix, at DJ Stix.
I am DJ Stix.
I am DJ Stix. Well, I am not DJ Stix. He is DJ Stix.
Sir.
So, yeah.
Thank you for having me, man.
Thank you, buddy.
Bless you.
You too.
Know that.